All right, here's a fascinating picture of a funeral procession. People dressed in black, they're mourning, and they're schlepping this casket through the countryside. And look what's falling out of it: money. To the grave. Can't take it with you. This guy figures he can take it with him. He's got the money he accumulated during his life in the casket, and the casket can't hold it all. Says he's kind of selfish, doesn't it? He's defined his importance by what he's amassed in life, what his possessions sort of define him. Not only define him, but define him even after he's gone. Look what Jesus has to do with all of this. He's walking by. He's obviously not joining the funeral procession. He's not going to the service. He's not going to the burial. He's just noting it and intentionally walking in the other direction. You and I are not called to live some sort of selfish life of hoarding things for ourselves. We're not called to be me monsters. We're not called to not take care of those in our absence. We're supposed to be proactive people who have others in mind, who want to do what we can to help others that aren't materialistic. It's kind of like the brothers that went to their father's funeral. They're in the funeral home, and he's got all this cash in the casket with him. And it was his desire to bring that cash with him to his grave. Well, the sons are having an issue with that, and two of them said, "I'll respect it. That's fine. He's our father. I'll respect it. Leave the cash in the casket. Just bury it. It's fine. It's not that important." And they leave. And the third brother's kind of hanging back, and he says to himself, I guess it's kind of okay. So he found a way to rationalize it. So he wrote a check for the amount of the cash, pulled all the cash out of the casket, put the check in the casket, and buried his dad with the check. Sound good to me. The fact of the matter is, we're supposed to be generous people. What does it profit a man to gain the entire world and then lose his own soul? I don't know if you got more month than money. I don't know if you've got a lot of possessions. But what is it that defines you? And are you defined by the amount that was paid for your soul, which is the blood of Christ, the Son of God? Or are you defined by your successes, your status, your ownership? Do you have possessions, or do your possessions have you? Do you have the Spirit of God, or does the Spirit of God have you? Christ doesn't appear to be too happy with this scenario. I think I'm going to go a different route. One of the saddest things I've ever done is sat through funerals in a funeral home with a resident pastor or chaplain for the funeral home doing services for people he had never met. They're empty, they're dry, they lack love, there's no connection, and it's just some perfunctory religious exercise. I get the sense that's what this guy's going to. He's going to a funeral home to have a funeral from a man who never knew him, who's trying to say something decent about him, but in reality, his last decision speaks for itself. He was all about the money. Anyway, you can't take it with you. Leave everything on the table and go enjoy your life and be generous that Christ would come to your funeral, because he wouldn't be anywhere else. There you have it. Can't take it with you.